I don't think we ever see this Jalen Brunson if he's playing with Luka. Jalen Brunson for the Red Hot Knicks, him getting teary-eyed, in the interview last night was just such an incredibly special moment. He is such a great story to hear Tibbs talking about him, who has obviously known him since he was a child, and that he has been this, every day there's a new article. It's like the unsuspected superstar or second rounder to NBA All-Star, or now the new thing in the Big Apple is Jalen Brunson. And not only has he been absolutely awesome and a leader for that team, it was super cool to see that. And that's when people can become trite, but you see something so special like that and a goal accomplished and a guy getting recognized. And I think everybody knew, most people thought he should have been a starter, that he was going to get named, but it still was really a moment, like an achievement, and was clearly very special to Brunson, Knicks fans, that he got that acknowledgement. So the first one right off the bat, I think everybody was thrilled about.
I mean, it was also just like a special night. Drops 40 points, big game for him, and crowd chant MVP. It's pretty cool. I mean, all of it's a good story. It's the best. It's definitely, from what I understand, the number one all-time case of tampering. like that sure worked out, huh?
A second round pick. So yeah, second round pick. Well worth it. I've been thinking about this a lot because I know there's a lot of rightful dunking on Dallas for the success of Jalen Brunson. But I will say this. Sometimes we could do a lot of revisionist history on this stuff. Now, Jalen Brunson is one that the Mismatch can gleefully say that we talked about a lot leading into that draft, because it had always been one of my things when we kept on every year. We talk about who's that guy that the ageist thing is going to get him, right? He is awesome. He has proven he's awesome, and yet he's going to drop it for whatever reason. He's not in these first round mocks. He very well may go in the second round, and of course he did right into the second round. And that we have one of these happen virtually every year, and we try to spot it beforehand. And so we had talked about Brunson, and then his career with Dallas ends with him being better than we ever would have expected him being. And when Luka went out, he took over completely. He was absolutely unbelievable. He's got the ball. He's running pick and roll. He's dominating. And then if you remember, they're playing against Phoenix. Luka comes back, and his numbers cratered. All of that stuff that he had just been mowing people down with, because now it's a Luka dominant team. And so all I'm saying is, of course, you should have kept him. Of course, they should have paid him. All I'm saying is, it ran through my mind thinking about this, because one of the other starters in this Eastern Conference is Tyrese Halliburton. I don't think we ever see this Jalen Brunson if he's playing with Luka. He's a guy that needs the ball. And I know you never see this Tyrese Halliburton if he's still playing with De'Aaron Fox. And the reason this was all going through my mind last night is because I'm watching Donovan Mitchell dominate the ball last night. And I'm going, you're never going to get the Darius Garland if this is the case. Darius Garland is going to, one of them is going to end up on another team at some point, and they're both absolutely awesome. But sometimes, and you've talked about this a lot, Kevin, with the overlap, it's man, the best thing to do with this guy is to run pick and roll. Well, the best thing for the other guy on your team is to dominate the ball as well. And so maybe we never get to see that Halliburton if he's still with Fox. Maybe we never get to see that Garland if he's still with Mitchell. And I would just say that, yes, it was a mistake, but I don't think we ever get to see this full view of Brunson if he did get retained by Dallas.
Not to piss off Mavs fans again, but how much of that is Luka's fault for being inflexible at the time? And I mean, he's accommodated Kyrie more. Granted, Kyrie misses every game, but with Brunson and Luka, shouldn't it have theoretically worked even better than it did? Like, because they did have success together, but like couldn't have Brunson have still blossomed in that environment? Not to this extent, obviously. This is a totally different environment. He runs that offense, like you said. He is the orchestrator. He is the engine. He is in New York, right? That's why I thought he should have been a starter. That's why he could be an all-NBA guy. Brunson is special. But couldn't it have worked even better in Dallas if Luka were willing to sacrifice a bit more? And it's understandable why he doesn't,
But this has always been the LeBron thing, right? Which is,
I know.
You've got to sacrifice. You're just, and maybe sometimes not getting the best of a guy. What he would totally be possible of,
for sure,
is the best thing, right?
It's the don't fit out, fit in thing that LeBron has always said about, he said years ago about Kevin Love. Like, if you're playing with a player of that magnitude, Jason Kidd just said Luka is on a Michael Jordan trajectory. He's in that, class of talents. If you're playing with a guy like that, it's on you to figure out how to fit. And Brunson's the guy scoring 40. Luka's the guy scoring 70, right? So, I mean, I get it. I'm just, it's just interesting to think about, like, in a different world where Luka were willing to move more without the ball, to cut more, be a screener more. Like, what would that have looked like with Brunson, with those two together? It's just, we're
seeing it with Kyrie now, and to his credit, it's working much better with Kyrie than we would have expected it to work.
It's like lessons learned, and plus this is like, just in terms of the name value of a player and the proven success of a player. This is Kyrie Irving. That was Jalen Brunson, who hadn't proven he could do this at this scale at the time, except for when Luka was out.